Welcome back to Open Play, the podcast where drama, mystery, and the occasional rogue ball collide on and off the pickleball courts. I'm your host, Abby, here to guide you through Episode 8, Crossing the Line. Karen's return has sparked new tensions. Jenna's obsession with catching the watcher is driving the group to the brink. And Carl might have finally done something useful. With every step forward, the group is unraveling. But the closer they get to the truth, the more dangerous the game becomes. Let's jump in. Our story begins in a dimly lit garage, where Jenna is rallying the team for her latest scheme, a plan to catch the watcher. She is standing in front of a whiteboard, featuring a crude drawing of the courts with labeled stick figures.
Okay, here's how it works. Dave and I will be decoys on court 3. Tom, you'll hang out by the fence and act suspicious. Carl, you stay awake and watch the parking lot. And Karen...
Let me guess. Bait?
Exactly.
Karen rolls her eyes but reluctantly agrees. The plan is chaotic at best, but desperation has left them with few options.
And if this doesn't work?
It'll work. It has to.
The group looks at each other, a mix of doubt and determination in their faces. The next day at the courts, the group executes Jenna's plan. Dave and Jenna's fake match is filled with theatrical insults.
You think you're good, Jenna? My grandma could beat you.
Oh, yeah? Well, your grandma just called me and she says your serve sucks.
Meanwhile, Tom paces near the fence, acting suspicious by repeatedly pretending to check his phone while scanning the area. And Carl is in the parking lot, snacking but visibly struggling to stay awake. Karen sits on the bench, looking calm but glancing nervously at the shadows. The watcher doesn't show up, at least not yet. She increasingly becomes lost in thought, reflecting on an argument she and her husband were having the previous night.
I don't get it, Karen. You're spending all this time at the courts, and for what? To play games?
It's not just games. It's just complicated.
It doesn't have to be. Either you focus on us, or you keep running around with your paddle and your drama. Your choice.
Karen sits in silence, torn between her commitment to her marriage and her newfound independence. Back at the courts, the plan begins to unravel. Carl dozes off, spilling his snacks. Tom gets distracted by a real text, abandoning his post. And then it happens. A ball lands at Karen's feet with a note taped to it. The group converges as Karen reads the note aloud.
It's not about who's watching. It's about who's lying.
Jenna grabs the note, her hands shaking.
This is getting old.
So, are we all lying? Or is this a game of who's the biggest liar?
The group begins bickering, their unity unraveling under the pressure. Meanwhile, Carl wakes up in the parking lot and notices something unusual. A car with fogged-up windows and someone inside taking pictures.
Uh-oh. Spotted you, buddy.
He taps on the window, startling the person inside, who drives off before Carl can get a good look. He sprints back to the courts, surprisingly alert.
Hey, guys, they were here. I saw them.
Ooh, what did they look like?
They were, blurry, fast. They had a car.
Thanks, Carl. That's super helpful, as usual.
As tensions boil over, the group's game devolves into chaos. Karen and Tom argue, Jenna snaps at Dave, and Carl eats someone else's snacks. Again.
This is ridiculous. We're falling apart over what? Some notes and a weirdo in a hoodie?
It's more than that, Karen. This is about control, and I don't like feeling helpless.
Maybe if we stopped blaming each other, we'd get somewhere.
Or we could just play pickleball. Crazy idea, I know.
The argument is interrupted by a loud bang. The group freezes, looking toward the source of the noise. a ball machine malfunctioning and shooting balls wildly across the court. As the group cleans up the chaos from the ball machine, Jenna notices something taped to it. Another note. She reads it aloud.
When the ball is in your court, what will you do?
Wait, who was near the machine before this?
No one, Tom. It was just sitting there.
The group looks around, realizing the watcher must have been closer than they thought. That evening, Karen sits alone at the courts, the note still in her hand. Jenna approaches, sitting beside her.
You doing okay?
Not really. This whole thing is making me question everything.
Like what?
My marriage, my choices, whether I even belong here.
Karen, you're not alone. We're all messed up in our own ways. But at least we're messed up together.
Karen smiles faintly, her resolve strengthening.
Thanks, Jenna. I needed that.
As the group disperses for the night, Karen walks to her car and finds another note stuck to the windshield. This one is different. It's a photo of the group, taken earlier that day, with the words, "You're next." Next time on Open Play, the group discovers a shocking betrayal, and Karen makes a choice that changes everything. Please remember to like, subscribe, and to share Open Play with all of your friends. And, maybe even your enemies too.